tell me about your involvement with the Calvin Coolidge Historic Site?
Well, I actually am a docent here 1 day a week on Wednesdays. And I also run the Wilder House restaurant with my daughter 7 days a week from 9 to 4. From late May until the end of October.
And how long have you lived in Plymouth?
We actually came here in the 70s. We came here in 74. We left in 87, but still came back here vacations. And then in 2002, I bought another home in the village, and I come back here summers and I winter in Florida.
What makes the Calvin Coolidge site unique from other presidential birthplaces or historic sites?
Well, we are an entire village. So this is where he was born, where he was raised, where he was sworn into the presidency, and where he is actually buried with 6 generations of his family.
What's it like being surrounded by the place where Calvin Coolidge grew up and was sworn in and was buried?
Well, we actually have the 4 seasons here, which is very unique. We have a 360 panoramic view of foliage during the year in all different stages. It's one of the most calm, serene, laid-back areas there are in the United States. We're right in the heart of the Green Mountains. We have 5 lakes here. So
what's it like being surrounded by so much history?
It actually makes you feel, I don't know, there's kind of a sense of calmness, of self-being. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's a different way of living, and it's, I don't know, it's basic. It's not, we're not surrounded by a lot of traffic, by a lot of road signs and billboards and heavy traffic. The closest grocery store is 11 miles.
Do you think that sort of environment shaped Calvin Coolidge?
I really do.
How?
Well, he was a very family-oriented person. He was one of 2 children, but he lost his mom when he was only 12. He lost his sister when he was 18. He lost both sets of grandparents at an early age. Then he lost his son at 16 at the White House. So it made him realize what it was, family values, and what it was to have a family and then lose them.
How do you think that reflected in his career?
He wanted the people involved in the government. He was one of the only presidents that wrote all his own speeches. He was very influential in getting the radio broadcasts out to the public. And he was a man that didn't say a lot, but what he did say, he always said, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. And kind of that's type of a man he was, but his wife made up for his quietness. She was very active in the social end of his entertaining. She also had piano recitals at the White House.
Mm-hmm. Do people here admire Calvin Coolidge?
They do. They do.
How do you notice that?
Well, in the way that the families do things together. And we celebrate his birthday on the 4th of July with the White House sends a wreath here to the village. The Adjutant General from the state of Vermont, National Guards, comes here. He leads the march to the cemetery. They do an address to the public with a speaker.
What do other people in the town generally think about Calvin Coolidge?
Well, it's part of their heritage. They were very happy to think that here's this young man, basically brought up on a farm, who actually attended law school and eventually became president of the United States.
So that's a pretty unique connection to U.S. history, to live here.
Yes. Yep. Yes, because there aren't too many people, or there aren't too many presidential historical villages like this, and The only other president born in the state of Vermont was Chester Arthur.
Have you ever been to his birthplace?
No, I've been by it. It's very small. It's very remote, and there isn't much there except for the tiny little cabin and what's left. It had been ransacked, so there isn't much of his personal things left there.
I was thinking of making my way there this weekend.
It's neat. The caretaker lives right down the road from where it is, so I'm sure if you get up in that area, you'll see it's quite a difference.
Anything else that you think is worth mentioning about
Well, I don't know if I told you, but he could have had a presidential library, but he didn't want one, and the money that he would have had for his library was actually given to the Clark School for the Deaf and Blind.
Why didn't he want a library?
He didn't think it was necessary. They have the Forbes Library in Massachusetts where he was governor, and so he felt that that was enough.
His presidential museum is in Northampton?
Correct, and at the Forbes Library.
Okay.
Yeah, but we share the artifacts between there and here. And now we have the new building that they just finished, which will have a permanent museum here.
That's not a gift shop like that one.
No, that used to be a gift shop and a tea room. It's now the site administrator's office.
So what lessons do you think a visitor should take away from Plymouth Village?
That you don't have to be, you can be a normal, ordinary person. You don't have to be a scholar to be a president.
Okay. Sounds good.